Bible devil alive.
Oh!
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Some of the media is terrific, but most of it, 70%, 75%, is absolute dishonest, absolute scum. Remember that. Scum. Scum.
Well, those are just some of the scenes from recent Donald Trump rallies. He is now coming under fire over the tensions rising in some of his events. Trump was asked about it during the debate last night.
Do you believe that you've done anything to create a tone where this kind of violence would be encouraged?
I hope not. I truly hope not. I will say this. We have 25,000, 30,000 people. You've seen it yourself. People come with tremendous passion and love for the country. And when they see protests, in some cases, you know, you're mentioning one case, which I haven't seen. I heard about it, which I don't like. But when they see what's going on in this country, they have anger that's unbelievable. They have anger. We have some protesters who are bad dudes. They have done bad things. They are swinging. They are really dangerous. And they get in there and they start hitting people. And we had a couple big, strong, powerful guys doing damage to people. Not only the loudness I don't mind, but doing serious damage. And if they're going to be taken out, I be honest, I mean, we have to run something.
And this morning, after Dr. Ben Carson threw his support behind the Republican frontrunner, Trump was asked again about the violence at some of his rallies.
And the particular one, when I said, like to bang him, that was a very, you know, he was a guy who was swinging, very loud, and then started swinging at the audience. And you know what? The audience swung back. And I thought it was very, very appropriate. He was swinging, he was hitting people, and the audience hit back.
This comes as new controversy emerges over a story about what happened or maybe did not happen between a Trump campaign official and a reporter. Breitbart reporter Michelle Fields claims she was assaulted by Trump's campaign manager at a press conference, something Trump and his campaign deny. For more on all of this, let's bring in our media panel. Judy Miller is a Pulitzer Prize-winning investigative reporter and author. Ellen Ratner, bureau chief for Talk Media News. Both are Fox News contributors. We all know that this business can get a little rough from time to time. Judy, you heard Donald Trump say he can't control everything that happens at one of his rallies. Is he right?
Of course he's not right, John. This is absurd. Donald Trump not only encourages the kind of anger and violence you see at those rallies, he stage manages them. There is the ritual ejection at every single one of his rallies of a protester. There is what everyone could see if you just looked at the video, which is a protester being sucker punched in the face. He, with his fascist salutes and his pledges, his calling reporters scum, his incitement to anger, if not outright violence. This has got to stop. Whom are you going to believe, as Groucho Marx would say, me or your lying eyes? I mean, look, we heard Michelle Fields' audio. We heard her describe what happened. A Washington Post reporter was there and wrote a story about what happened. And yet the campaign's response is to deny it. Well, you know Donald Trump, he's very good at firing people. Let him fire the person who manhandled a female reporter. Well, it's his campaign manager, and there has been some question, Judy. I mean, you say that the tape is out there, but there were a bunch of cameras that didn't seem to catch anything. Ellen, how do you see that particular case, these charges of the altercation between his campaign manager and the Breitbart reporter?
Well, first of all, I agree with Judy in her general assessment 100%. However, on this specific case, there were a lot of cameras. They did not catch it. There was some audio that was caught. So on this specific case, it's a question. However, I think that Mr. Trump has got to calm down and get people to not react to this kind of way, because frankly, the White House Correspondents Association put out a statement yesterday that's unprecedented from the White House Correspondents Association. And there are a lot of people in the White House correspondents that are concerned about this. I mean, I see these people because we cover the White House that are concerned. We need to have an open press, and I know Judy is the biggest champion of open press that there is.
Perhaps the guy whose campaign rallies never contained, any violence, any fisticuffs, Dr. Ben Carson, he, came out this morning and announced he's throwing his support behind Donald Trump. And here is what he had to say in particular about the media. Listen to this.
I'm appealing to some degree to the media as well. You're part of America too, and should be interested in strengthening our nation, not in creating divisions, not in creating conflicts all the time. If we start having that.
And, the point is that the media feed, he says, on the divisions. Judy, your response.
Our job is to report contradictions in what people say. It's to report when they're lying. It's to report when they're not telling the truth. Our job is not to bring the country together. That's a politician's job. And Ben Carson, if he'd been around longer in politics, would know that. Look, we're not going to be liked. I never asked to be liked, and I've been roughed up myself at covering events. Things happen, but there is no excuse for the kind of behavior we've seen, not just at one rally, but at almost every from the Donald Trump people. It's when you say one thing, you do another. It's called demagoguery. That's what Donald Trump has been all about.
As we have been speaking, we learn that the reporter for Breitbart News, Michelle Fields, has apparently filed criminal charges against Trump's campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski. That is just breaking. Whether that charge will be supported, we have yet to find out, but she has filed criminal assault charges against him. There's a fairly well-known former contender on Trump's reality show, The Apprentice, Omarosa, who has become something of a surrogate for his campaign. Here's what she had to say to NBC.
You have the right to assemble. You have the right to free speech. You also have the right to go into. You have a right to go into. Listen, you have a right to go into a closed private event, and you get what's coming to you. I do not condone violence, but if you go into an environment where you're interrupting 13, 14 times, do you expect a hug or kumbaya?
And Donald Trump, for his part this morning, was saying that, he has been miscast. Here's what he said after getting Dr. Ben Carson's endorsement. Listen.
And I'm a thinker, and I have been a thinker. And perhaps people don't think of me that way because you don't see me in that forum, but I am a thinker. I thought it was very nice what Ben said, actually, because it is another side of me. I'm a very deep thinker.
So,
well, maybe we would see some indication of that at a debate. Maybe we'd see at least a modicum of knowledge about foreign policy or specifics about issues. People can make up their own minds on Donald Trump. But as a reporter, as someone who has to cover people like this, I've made up my mind. And the kind of behavior we've seen is not acceptable. Breitbart, by the way, is a conservative or right-of-center outlet. These are not left-wingers trying to slam or lie about Donald Trump.
Well, Ellen is nodding her head.
I also say that, Fox News Channel, when we have had people from Fox News Channel either do forums or debates, has done the kind of research that Judy's been talking about. They've done this kind of what one person says now and what one person says later. That's just good journalism.
All right, well, we will see what happens with this criminal assault charge filed in Jupiter, Florida. Michelle Fields filing against Corey Lewandowski, the Trump campaign manager. We'll stay on that story. Judy, Ellen, thank you both.
Thank you, John.